You're welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we want to look at how to defend your research proposal or how to defend your final thesis using PowerPoint. So obviously, in defending your research proposal or defending your final thesis, you would have to put everything into a PowerPoint. So the first thing is to know how to create the PowerPoint, and the next thing is how to present it. The first thing is that your PowerPoint should have a title page like something like this, and it should have a topic boldly written there with your name, your index number if there is, then the name of your supervisor. Very, very important. You don't want to leave your supervisor out of your presentation. All right, the next thing is that there should be an outline of the research. For instance, we talk about the introduction, the materials and methods, the results, discussion, conclusion, and reference. You don't want to waste time talking about this, so you just present it. All right, then there should be an objective. The main objective of the study, the specific objectives of the study outlined. And now notice that I didn't bring background and problem statement. I will come back to that quickly. Now the materials and methods also, I advise that you don't put so much information there. You just use a particular style of just summarizing everything into points like this. Study design, study population, ethics, data management, analysis. Then you are going to explain each of them because it is PowerPoint. All right. Then you also present your results in this way. Now notice that here I have my results and discussion, but on this page I have only the results and I have a reference here. I'll come back to talk about that as well. Similarly, I have some results here and I have a reference here. In the same vein, just like that. So let me call back to the first page and we start out there. How do you present your results? Now, or do your PowerPoint presentation. In the first place, what I want you to do is that you should have your topic at the back of your mind. You should be able to memorize your topic and say it at heart. The first thing is that you want to impress your audience that you know your topic inside out. If you have to look at the slide before you be able to tell us your topic, that is the first red flag. So as soon as you present your topic or you present your PowerPoint, first of all, you give them a greeting. Good afternoon, professors and colleagues here. My name is, you give your name, and I'm here to present on the topic, but don't forget your supervisor. So my name is so and so, and my supervisor is Professor XYZ. I am here to present on a topic. You give your topic clear cut. Now you go on to say that this is my outline. You move on. Now before you come to your main objective, this is where you need to give the background of the study, why the study was conducted, and you need to give the problem statement. But it is not necessary to bring it into the PowerPoint unless it is specifically given as an outline that you need to include it. The idea is that you don't want to give so much information that somebody will use the information to be asking you questions. There are some people, they don't have any idea the topic you are presenting, they don't know anything about it, but they look at what you are presenting and they use it to ask you questions. So what if I don't bring it? Then you only have to listen to me in order to ask me questions. And that is exactly what you want to do. You don't want to give them so much information for them to be reading instead of listening to you. You want them to listen to you. It also behoves that you need to know exactly what you are there to present. So as soon as you give them your topic, your outline, you talk about the problem statement, you give a background statement. So if it is on malaria, you begin by saying that malaria incidents have been on the ascendancy. For the past 20 years, the health institution have been fighting to take down malaria, but that has been a mirage due to blah, 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 blah. Now, there have been deaths that have been associated with malaria. Over the past years, certain interventions have been put in to curb malaria and to prevent the incidence of malaria. However, malaria still continues to wreak havoc in the health institutions. Then you begin to give a particular background. As soon as you are done, then you come to say that this is the reason why this study becomes relevant. So the main aim of the study is to assess the methods of malaria prevention amongst the youth. Here is the only part you are expected to look back at the slide. But you need to flash looking at the slide and come back to look at the audience. You always want to look at the audience. Don't look upstairs Don't be looking at the ceiling. Don't be looking at the slides. Be looking at the audience. Always look at the audience. Okay, so you look at the specific objectives. My first specific objective is to assess the level of respondents' knowledge on malaria and its prevention. Also, I want to assess, or since you have already done the work, you also say that I assess the methods of malaria prevention used by the citizens in the community. So if it is a proposal, you say I will. If it is not a proposal, then you should present in the past tense because you've already done the work. The next thing is that either you say I will be assessing the consistency, or you say I assess the consistency of the methods of malaria prevention practice. Once you are done, then you are ready to move to the next slide. But before you move to the next slide, which is the materials and methods, you also need to talk a little bit about the relevance of the study. So at the end of this study, blah 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 or so and so will be achieved. You give the relevance of the study. If it was already done or a study that has already been done and you are presenting it, then you tell us the relevance of the study. This study sought to do this and that, and at the end of the day we're able to do that and that, but you don't want to present the results yet because you are yet to do that. Okay, so the next slide you talk about your materials and methods, and the reason why I have summarized everything into this particular design is that you want to limit information. You want to limit information such that they don't get so much questions to ask you. Every question they will ask you should be out of what you said. And that is very much important. And everything you say is also information that you have so much grip on. So it puts you at a higher perspective and gives you so much favor in the eyes of your audience. So you talk about your study design, and inside your study design, you talk about the study approach. Okay, so you could start by saying that in order to achieve the objective of the study, a descriptive cross-sectional study was used, or I will use a descriptive cross-sectional study. Now, this descriptive cross-sectional study was studied quantitatively using questionnaires, using experimental, using this and that and that and that. You state all those things. Then you come to the study population. With regards to the study population, adolescents aged this particular day, aged this particular year, or so and so type of population were used. You tell us why you chose that population. Then you include the inclusion and exclusion criteria information over here as well. So what made a particular participant to be included in the study? What made a particular participant not qualify for the study? You talk about that in the section of the study population. When it comes to the ethics section, you say that either ethical approval for the study will be sought from, or was sought from the Committee for Human Research and Publication Ethics, or the Institution Review Board. And consent was sought from the participant, and each study participant that was involved in the study gave their consent to be part of the study. Then you come to data management. In the part of the data management, you also can talk about how the data, how sampling was done, the sampling procedure. If you were able to estimate the sample size, how you did it, you can talk about it here. Then the sampling procedure, whether you used random sampling, convenient sampling, and how you did it. Was it that people were coming and you randomly selected them, or you gave them some numbers? You tell them briefly how you sample them using the random sampling. Then you tell them how the data was managed. How did you keep the data? Were they entered into a particular software and password protected? Or did you use questionnaire and then you kept it? Whatever that you did, you tell them there as well. The analysis of the data, you tell us about the software that was used, the statistical data that was used, and the various variables that were used, and how you came about the results. So within 2 to 3 minutes, you should be able to describe how the study was done using this particular design that I have here. With this, when the person look at it, they will be tempted to look at you and listen to you because you don't have many information here. And that is what a PowerPoint is supposed to be. It is PowerPoint points. All right. And also in the results and discussion, you'll be presenting the results and discussing at the same time. So you don't have to present the results and at the end of the day, you come and bring so much information concerning discussion. Remember, the idea is reduce information. So over here, you present exactly what you have there for them to see. What does the 75% mean? What does the 25% mean? What does the 50% mean? in relation to your resource, your study objectives. After presenting it, you explain what that means briefly, and then you compare it with studies that have been done. So you show them that the references that have been shown here. So a study conducted by Kofi et al. 2024 agrees with these findings. Then you state in their study, they found out that so and so and so and so. Nobody knows what Kofi et al. did. It is only you and your supervisor who knows. Okay, and that is the trick here. You do same for all the results. So as you talk about the results, you discuss it, but you don't bring the information of the discussion here. Just present the results, explain the results, let them understand every portion of the results that is relevant, which you can do justice to, and that is also relevant to your objectives. And then you use references or citations to discuss it. At the end of the day, you could have a section for conclusion, and then you have a section for references. You provide an information on the external references to all the references that were used. And so whilst you are preparing for the PowerPoint, the first thing is that make sure that you find some people, maybe a group, your class members or your classmates, and present it to them. At least do this 3 times. Know your PowerPoint inside out. And also make sure that you have a print out of your PowerPoint. Provided that there is lights out, your presentation shouldn't end there. Let them know that you are so prepared to the extent that you have your PowerPoint printed on the paper. So if there is lights out, sometimes the laptop could malfunction. Anything could happen with it. You could have a hard copy, which whether you share a copy with them, maybe you could print 2. You give 1 to all the audience, just 1, and then you keep 1. You use it for your presentation so that they know that you are really prepared. Also, make sure that you prepare with time. At most, within 10 minutes, you should present everything. And so do so many preparations, rehearsals, and make sure that you're able to present it within 10 minutes, because time is so much important. Every good research should be able to be presented within 10 minutes. Okay. Another thing is also your composure, your dressing. When you are presenting, use gestures. Use your hands, not offensively, but use your hands as gestures. It is a way of calming you down, and it is also a way of letting your audience know that you are interacting with them. So use your hands, use gestures. Don't fold your hands at your back and be talking to them. If you fold your hands at your back, it means that you are not prepared, you are timid, and you don't have command over what you are doing. So use your hands as gestures. Gaze them, have them at eye point, look into their eyes, each and every one of them, and then not just one person. Make sure that you make eye contact with all the audience at most within the auditorium. And then also make sure that your dressing is on point. I recommend that if you are a male, you put on a suit. If you don't have a suit, make sure that a shirt with a tie, very well neatly packed in with your shoe, and you have a socks on, your hair very nice, because there will be somebody, the interview panel or a panel, all that is doing is marking your dressing, and your dressing could score you as much as 10 points. You don't want to lose that free marks. So dress very neatly, press on your clothing, don't dress shabbily. If you dress shabbily, it means that you don't respect your audience. So make sure that your dressing is on point. If you're a female, you could also put on suit. You could also put on a very nice, neatly pressed, straight dress with your shoe and your hair neatly tucked in. You don't want to miss these free marks. And then the last thing is to make sure that you have your PowerPoint on a pen drive. Make it ready on a pen drive, ready to be put in there. If it is on your laptop, it is a no. Make it available on your pen drive. What if at that particular point in time, your laptop goes off? Some way, somehow, when you are under pressure, something happens. What if your laptop falls down and spoils? What if there is lights out and the only available source of your data is, or your PowerPoint is on your laptop and you can't print it? What are you going to do? Anything can happen to your laptop whilst you are under pressure. Okay, your laptop can malfunction, it could delay, and they are waiting for you, but you are taking time copying it to your pen drive if no. But have it on a pen drive. Obviously, it should also be on a laptop for backup, but have it on a pen drive. As soon as they request it, you give them the pen drive, they slot in, you are there. So these are some of the guidelines you have to take note of in preparing for your PowerPoint. Another takeaway that I want to give to you is that in presenting your PowerPoint, okay, make sure that there are not more than 8 or 9 lines. Over here I have one line, line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5, line 6, line 7, line 8. I will not consider this line because it is here. If I reduce the font size, I'll have it there. So you should have at most 8 lines aside from your topic. At most 8 lines. If it is more than 8 lines, it is no longer PowerPoint. That is PowerWord, and you don't want that. And somebody is marking the way your presentation has been presented. Somebody is marking your slides. So make sure you have it. And then it is at best advisable to have a black text on a white background, unless you have certain pictures to present in which you adjust certain things. Don't use so many animations, at least some one animation, but don't be using animations that will be dragging the work. And also make sure that your font size is 28 for the text. Font size should be at least 28, and then the topic should be at least 40 or 44. Now 28 font size means that when you project it, even if somebody is at the back of the auditorium, they will still be able to see your text. But if you use 16 and the person struggles to see from the back, that is a minus. Okay, so make sure that everybody can see, and using 28 is fair enough. No matter where they are sitting in the auditorium, they should be able to see. Okay, so these are some few guidelines you're supposed to take note of in preparing and also in presenting your PowerPoint. With this, I want to wish you all the best in defending your thesis, defending your proposal. I know you have this. Be cool, make sure that you are up to the task, and all the best. With this, we come to the end of the video. See you in my next video.